15, 16...
Once, there was a glorious kingdom established among...
Looks like tomato... Customers? Oh, pardon me. Are you looking for Timaeus? No. Just strange for him to not be around. Paimon always sees him standing here. I see. He was called away by Albedo a little while ago. I was called over to attend to the store. I'm Sucrose, Albedo's assistant. If you have any alchemy-related queries, you could always ask me. I do my best to help, huh? Do I look nervous? My apologies. I don't get out too often. I'm usually in the laboratory where there aren't many others to talk to. If you need any help, just call my name. If not, I'll be reading a book. Over there. Thanks. No worries. We're all clued up on the basics of alchemy, aren't we? Hey, aren't you the legendary traveler? The one who repelled... I've heard so many stories about you. Always wanted an opportunity to research you up close. What do you mean, research? Sorry, don't mind me. What am I saying? Still, you'd definitely be able to help Albedo. It is you, after all. There's that name again, Albedo! Is he also an alchemist in Mondstadt? Apologies. I never introduced him. Albedo is the Knights of Favonia's chief alchemist. He's also Timaeus and my teacher. But Paimon's only ever seen Timaeus teaching alchemy. So that means Albedo is a teacher? Yes. He's dedicated himself to investigating the truth of this world, and has made many an important breakthrough. We often get alchemists coming to Mondstadt from all over Whatt, seeking his help. They say that the subtlest of guidance from Mr. Albedo helps them to solve the most unfathomable of problems. Wow! Paimon didn't know he was such a big deal! Still, it seems that he's encountered a problem in his research recently. Every time I see him, he has a concerned look on his face. I'm sure that Albedo would love to hear about your incredible exploits. I know it would bring him lots of new inspiration. Albedo is a true gentleman. He'll be sure to pay you back in equal measure for helping him out. I don't see why not. Testing the limits of living beings' capabilities is one of Albedo's areas of research, after all. Albedo and Timaeus will be conducting research in the mountains right now. I'd love to take you both to see him, but somebody has to attend to the store. I'm afraid you'll have to go to the entrance to the pass and look for him by yourselves. Look out for a refined gentleman with the presence of a true scholar. And... sorry. That's the best I can do. You'll have to do your best. Hey, stop worrying. We got this.
How can I help you?
Sucrose is a whole lot less nervous once she gets talking about alchemy and research, huh? Is that what all researchers are like? Anyway, let's go and look for Albedo. Practice is about to...
I've told you already, I don't go in for that kind of thing. I've got more important matters to attend to.
But this event has commemorative significance. The church hopes that all sisters will be present.
Hopes? That's odd, because I don't recall a fulfill the hopes of others clause in my job description.
I mean, sure, but...
But what? You're the event organizer, aren't you? Do you not find it the least bit odd?
What do you mean?
This far out from Mondstrad at this hour? Even if you set out right now, I'll wager you'd still miss the opening ceremony. Who knows? Maybe this is someone's grand plan to make a fool out of you.
Huh? Well, that can't be. People aren't like that.
Evidence decides what people are like, not your feelings. Maybe you're a little too trusting of other people. Don't fret, nobody's gonna blame you if you go back empty-handed. I can't imagine anyone else was delusional enough to think I was gonna show up. But if you dally any longer, you really won't make it.
You're right. It's a very important commemorative event. If I'm late, then... right, I've gotta get going. Seems like that nun's an expert in making people believe anything she wants.
I thought I heard something. Who are you and why are you eavesdropping?
We'd better watch out. She seems like a dangerous villain, or a trickster at best.
Oh, really? I'm a member of the long-standing Favonius Church. You're an eavesdropping pixie from who knows where, and you think I'm the trickster?
Wait, she heard that? Paimon was whispering so quietly.
And as for this outlander you seem to be following... So it's you. The honorary knight that saved us from storm terror. Well then, given your status, I won't press you on your reasons for eavesdropping. Otherwise, depending on your answer, I could have arrested you on the spot.
What? Do the nuns of Mondstrad have the authority to arrest people now?
We can't go turning a blind eye to hidden dangers, can we? Why shouldn't sisters have a sense of justice?
That doesn't sound right. But Paimon can't think of a good comeback.
Let's talk about you. What are you doing in the mountains? If it's him you're after, I made a point of noting his tracks. Many people have made their way up after the snowstorm. Let's hope they're still there.
So, are you also looking for him?
No, this is just a professional habit of mine. I sensed elemental traces in these tracks. Never hurts to be vigilant. I couldn't care what you think. Come on then. I'd like to see what he's up to anyway.
Rosaria said there were elemental traces in the tracks. They should show up pretty clearly with elemental sight.
Another test subject. Fry!
Ta-da! Clee's here! Woo!
You know, little pixie, your ability to appear and disappear at will is very interesting.
Yeah?
After committing a crime, you'd be able to leave the scene without a trace.
You're so suspicious. Why is Paimon a criminal in your example? It's getting colder and colder. Rosaria, aren't you freezing?
Me? I'm alright. I got used to operating in adverse conditions a long time ago.
Huh? Seems like there's more to being a nun in the Favonius Church than Paimon realized.
The word on the street is he loves sketching. He'll hang around anywhere for a good landscape. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Sketches everywhere you look.
But can't he see those hilly churls? Isn't he in danger? Uh-oh. Looks like we startled them. Enough talk. Let's take them out of the picture first. Yahoo!
Who are you? Why did you alarm them? Thank the gods I'd already completed my sketch. Would have been ashamed to leave these particular
What's up with sketching hilly churls? What makes them so interesting?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my sketch, it may give you a clue.
Wow! Look at the detail! But some of it seems to have been done in a hurry.
You can find these hilly churls anywhere. Quite boring, in fact. Not worth closer inspection. But take a look at this specimen. The build, the coat, and there's a distinct force at work here. In the cyclical lives of such primitive communities, such unique attributes are an indication of evolution at work.
Hold your horses. Something tells me we're in for a thesis and I haven't got the stamina. We found your man. I'm headed back.
What? Don't you have any questions for him? Hey! What a weirdo.
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to thank her. But back to the point. From her words, it seems that you were looking for me?
We met a girl in Mondstrad, Sucrose. She said you were stuck with your research.
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the honorary knight. You've got the whole of Mondstadt talking. I've heard a bit of everything. Your actions during Storm Terror's attack, your elemental control, and quite a few other mysterious things. I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all. You came from excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think my research would benefit enormously. Forgive me. This must be confusing. Where should I begin? The essence of life?
Whoa. You want to start with that?
You're right. Giving a demonstration would be better than trying to explain. For example, awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
You can do that?
However, I have a particular seed in my possession. The method I'm talking about has produced no results. It's like you, in that it hails from another world. Helping it to grow, to bloom. That's the problem my research is up against.
Well, if you're struggling to figure it out, Paimon's not sure we're gonna be much assistance.
I beg to differ. I'm unable, but you're not from the known world. By observing and researching you,
shall we just get out of here? This sounds a little freaky.
it's possible. But I will do everything in my control to ensure your safety. Time for a change of surroundings. We should be going. There's research to do.
Albedo and that traveler seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to...
Think you can get away? Here we go. Here we go. Yahoo!
A question?
I don't know. But I feel the importance will lie in them using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life into that would constitute a big leap in my understanding of the essence of after awakening. Even creation may be possible. Still a little difficult to understand?
No! Paimon's got a brain! But what's the seed gonna become? Isn't that more interesting than whatever it was you were saying?
Well, if it turns out to be a delicious fruit...
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child. Another lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. I suppose it's one of the few non-alchemy related disciplines I'm any good at. The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the elements requires a vision. Though I can't see anything resembling one on your person, how you're able to freely manipulate elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. I've got a few... Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? A fourth stomach? Fascinating. And this floating child is... connected to your body?
What a stupid question! Can't you see the gap between us? And another thing, it's Paimon, not floating child.
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is... Oh, that rules out that possibility. I wonder... Did Paimon guide the elemental power to you? But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick. Or cause the waterfall south of Springville to flow backwards. No, that definitely can't be it.
Hey, how would...
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your body and that of the humans in this world. Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in their research, it seems that only experimentation will yield the answers. Firstly, this mysterious elemental power. I'd like to let me lure a few slimes to the area. Perhaps you'd be able to defeat them, using whatever method...
Huh? Doesn't seem very sciencey.
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good Naturally, if you require a greater challenge.
Slimes! Slimes are fine.
Well, Great work. If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready. Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of... Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting normally...
Internal flow?
It's very simple. I can use alchemy if the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body. This potion may elicit an element...
Sounds kinda...
Don't worry. In the normal course of events...
And in the abnormal?
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made it... Well, it's not that... Just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason... yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. It's a type of... I'll take you to my campsite. We can get all going to plan.
Paimon's still got a few safety concerns, but it seems... Let's keep our eyes open. Woo!
Huh? Let's play!
Woo! La la la. La la la.
Think you can get away? Yahoo!
Here. Should do for catalyst purposes. This one. Usable with a bit of polish. What luck. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way. This is my campsite. I've added them while we are waiting. Have a look over here. My assistant Timea's here is helping me with my research.
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from your experiment.
Whoa! Look at all the data.
I wouldn't call them results. Inference. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler and the slimes. Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able...
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. In other words, a cryoregis vine, or even a what in that sense.
Yes, sir.
After all, we've got our primer. If it turned out...
Ah, it would. Speaking of dig...
Great, I'll leave you to it. Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little first. If all... in line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face. You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready? What happened to him?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. This potion channels elemental power into the body, under normal circumstance, but if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drank some?
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig. But of course, in conclusion, I'd say...
Aw, Paimon...
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. The good thing about people are this: when you're sick, but a peculiar person. For example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregisvine, or to sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me, but starting with...
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter, I'd like...
You can count on me, sir.
Is he trying to join the Knights? He's starting to sound like a suck-up. What Paimon meant to say was...
Before we can proceed with our research, if you're interested, what...
Here comes Albedo! Let's go see him!
I'm back. Did you see anything interesting? Not to worry. They're all for alchemical purposes. Well, on with the research. There may be significant differences. Take Whatt, for example, but worlds may well exist where... So, leaving elements to one side. Do you... I think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last time. In other words, no. You shan't be required. Now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it.
You think Paimon knows how to do that stuff?
That was your best effort? Have you tried using your elemental power with food? I don't mean for... I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. It may even help with proliferation. I suppose I have a curiosity for things that others find surprising. Anyway, why don't you cook us up a sunshine sprat? I've just finished preparing the recipe.
Cooking? Paimon was looking forward to more mad science.
Not only is this recipe a staple for me, it's also worth experimenting with and highly nutritious.
Paimon bets you're just... That does sound yummy, though. Okay, Paimon approves. Good.
I'll leave you to it then. Looking forward to the result. If there's anything left over, maybe Timaeus can
Paimon doesn't think we'll have that problem. How are we gonna channel elemental power into the food? Maybe try the willpower. Where does he get these ideas from?
That was...
Let's just do it the old-fashioned way.
That was fat. An average outcome experimentally, but as far as the proliferation hypothesis is unless... Could it be that the natural laws of this world are limiting your unique ability?
We just didn't know how to channel elemental power into the food. It's a little more complicated than adding herbs and spices, you know.
Not to worry. At least we put some food to good use. No need to feel disheartened. And here's your portion. Enjoy.
Woohoo! Thanks! Glad you were paying attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during the whole experiment. Not that Paimon would have been able to do much if things had gone wrong.
Hey! You were being nice a second ago! But you do have tasty recipes. And you're right, we are good friends. You have good friends too, right? Good.
Yes. I'm fortunate too, I suppose. Anyway, moving on to the next experiments. There are all manner of alchemic... I managed to retrieve the majority.
Paimon's barely finished eating and you want us to go...
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to replace them anyway. Though, fine. If you had, say, superpower, like night vision or vibratory sensing, I must have dropped them somewhere in the area where you were looking.
So, guess we'd better take a look. Oh, yeah! The extract of an animo crystal fly can only be animo elemental energy, right? This has gotta be it. This must be electrohypostasis powder.
Goodness. I'm wondering... This elemental...
Yep. Guess it does sort of...
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom, only a never-before-seen otherworldly power would be of benefit to my research.
You mean...
Don't be disheartened. This falls entirely within my expectations. Besides, getting these items back, I have to commend your deduction that the items would contain element... Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your other... In essence, looking out from where we're standing. Can you see what Sucrose is doing? And if you jumped from here and landed on that cliff, the one over there, so what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it burst into 1,000,000 fragments? Then I shouldn't get too excited. Still, I know of a location that will be perfect for a physical test.
Da-da-da. Woo. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. La-la-la. La-la-la. Brace yourselves.
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite shore of the lake. I will factor the time expended and your time.
The opposite side of the lake. So,
Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively, using the method that some of us would be unable to stand the icy waters. Others might find the whole thing rather refreshing. No matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. Then if you would, please.
wait a minute. While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing, emotional support.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh! Forget Paimon said anything.
Great work. I've never seen your reputation precedes you, traveler. The data shows that you're easily up.
But you followed us the whole way without breaking us.
Me? Actually, if it turns out that the natural laws of Tavad do not affect you, if the natural laws of the innumerable
But how does this help your
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. When we return to the campsite, I may be old, petrified. The essence of I'm willing to pour all these things that start out as objects.
Oh, so
Precisely.
after all...
Of course not. Now, follow me. There are some other...
Woo! Woo! La la la. La la la. Woo! La la la. La la la. Huh? Wouldn't gliding be faster? Wouldn't gliding be faster?
I imagine you must have encountered more than a few conundrums during your trip. I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your I'd like you to explore these ruins and return with your findings. There are 2 puzzles located at the far ends of the ruins. After completion, you should be able to activate. As with the physical test, there are no restrictions. Everything you do is a tried and tested. So, let's see you. Sealy like these are a common sight in the mountains. Returning them to their rightful places is up to you. It's a complex environment, so proceed with caution.
Brace yourself. Brace yourself. Time for takeoff. Yahoo!
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is something I'm looking forward to finding out.
Hey, explaining things is Paimon's job.
Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. We should... What's this? To the best of my knowledge, these belong... There's still a lot. Let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them in greater detail after our...
Seems like if you want the reward,
I've truly gained a lot. Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
Paimon's kind of looking... Unless you can...
Not so fast. You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
You didn't leave...
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albedo have... I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor. Taking orders from a complete stranger? Drinking anonymous potions? I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive.
Listen, sister. Your guard's so high you can't even see over the top of it.
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. But I understand him a little better. I'm only concerned with...
No way! Paimon would have sensed it. And anyway, he didn't even use any alchemy.
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat...
So, what are you gonna do?
I've gotta hand it to you. You have your moments. I've investigated everything else. The only...
But we...
That much is true. But for insurance purposes, Now then, all things considered, I deem that you pose, which is what I was hoping.
Overtime?
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's gone! So stuck. Mondstrad doesn't have many people like that. Huh.
You're back. Good timing. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way back? Time for the results. We got but the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is... You're very much like a human from this world.
You couldn't tell that just by looking? We spent all day working our butts off for...
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you, but in fact, nothing in this world should be taken for granted. Have you ever considered that the world of Teyvat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders? I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and nothing seems amiss. The only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar. But after I observed you, imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Whoa! It looks like something's appearing!
The transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, is not nurturing otherworld... It would...
Paimon thought, with all our efforts, it might have bloomed forever. And it didn't even have...
Life is a manifold tapestry of free and... A short life can be well lived. So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here, arguably being a...
Don't be sad. Albedo, Paimon really wants...
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness is... Your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom. I mean, at the time I've spent in the future. If the need arises, well... I made a point throughout of telling him how ordinary the results were. But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. Those born of Earth are bound by its imperfections. But those born of chalk are free of impurities. You and I are alike. If, one day, I lose control, destroy Mondstrad, can I rely on you to stop?
Huh? Look at that! Looks... Let's see how our fellow explorers are doing.